Last week in my private Facebook group for BTMS Insiders members, I did the monthly productivity challenge that I've been doing. And this particular episode is not about the productivity challenge, but just really quickly, basically at the beginning of the week, I ask everybody who's going to participate to set aside an hour on their calendar every day for the week to work on something that is a project to help them achieve their most meaningful personal goal. And it's a fairly simple idea, but it continues to deliver profound results. Now, last month, Jared Buck was one of the winners, and winners get a 20-minute consultation call with me. So it's a little bonus on top of whatever you achieve through doing the work that week. Last month, one of the winners was Jared Buck. Last month, during the productivity challenge, he chose to work through the client getting blueprint training, and I believe he continued it well beyond the week. Well, this month, I didn't want to let him win twice in a row. And there was actually somebody that stood out for even more implementation than Jared this month. But he did absolutely get an honorable mention because, so last month he won it. He was implementing the client getting blueprint. This month, he was reaching out to prospective clients throughout the week. That's what he made his priority. And at the end of the week, he said, done. Ending the week with 3 calls booked and a deposit for a one-off project on the way. So this works. So many people have such struggles getting clients, getting started, figuring out how to bring clients in the door. The client getting blueprint, I've literally laid out the blueprint. And so I want to talk a little bit about the content of that program and what Jared was applying, because there were other people even in BTMS Insiders who had not gone through the training yet who were asking about it. So I want to talk a little bit about what Jared was applying that got him those 3 calls booked and the deposit for the project in an hour a day for a week. So that's what we'll talk about in today's episode. These are the proven direct response marketing, copywriting, and entrepreneurship success strategies you can use today to write your own ticket and create the life you want. I am Roy Furr, and this is Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. Now, here's today's breakthrough. Okay, so before we dive in, today's episode, as usual, is sponsored by me, and I'm going to link you to the Client Getting Blueprint, which you should just sign up for BTMS Insiders for a month. There's actually a 30-day Launch Your Client Business Challenge inside of there, which regardless of if you've already kind of launched your client business and are getting some clients off and on now, or you're brand new, just go through the 30-day challenge. Go through the Client Getting Blueprint. It's about 10 hours worth of training that you do over 30 days, plus the work of actually implementing it. And that's what Jared did prior to this month being able to just book, 3 calls and get the deposit for a one-off project. Like, that's what you just follow the directions and money shows up. I'm sorry. So many people try to make it so much more complicated, but if your client business is not already bringing in all the clients you want, giving you more work than you need, then go through this. It's $97 for your first month of BTMS Insiders, and it's well worth it when that money starts showing up. So the links are in the description to the Client Getting Blueprint. Now let's talk about what did Jared do? What did Jared do? So I don't know all the details of Jared's business, but here's the process that he went through. First, he defined his offer. So when you are starting a client business, you need to know what the heck you are going to offer to your clients, right? Like, what is the offer that you're going to make in the marketplace? What are people actually going to give you money for? And so I actually walk you through this process where you build your offer to solve the problem of your target market. So the people who are your market, they have a problem, they have a challenge, they have a desired outcome that they haven't achieved yet. They have something that they want that we can define broadly under the term of problem, right? And the service that they buy is going to be a solution to that problem. And so you build your offer to solve the problem of your target market. I mean, It's not that hard, people. You build an offer to solve the problem of a target market so that when you are actually talking to the people in that target market and you say, hey, I solved this problem, they say, oh, okay, that sounds interesting. Let's talk, right? So the first thing you do is you build the offer. And then you have to build a conversion system. Notably here, I'm not telling you to just go out and start spamming people, whatever, for, hey, I do this thing. Like I sell copywriting. Do you buy copywriting? That's not what I'm telling you to do. I'm telling you to build an offer around your services that is designed specifically to solve a problem. So I help, financial advisors generate leads. I help roofing companies get calls and estimate bookings. Whatever it is, right? I solve this problem in this target market. So there's that offer, and then we build a conversion system around that. Now, I teach a concept, I'm not going to go into it in detail here, but I teach a concept called the minimum viable funnel. And for most of my time as a copywriter, this is all I've ever really needed to sell my services. It hasn't been some complex webinar funnel, application funnel, anything like that. It's a minimum viable funnel, meaning the minimum amount of tech that you need to have in place, the minimum process that you need to have in place in order to take someone who is interested in your message and talking to you, right? And interested in that solution that you promise to their problem. Somebody who has that problem who says, oh, you have a solution? Okay, I'm interested. This is the minimum steps required to take that person from that place all the way up to becoming a paying client of your services. So 3 calls booked, that's part of the minimum viable funnel process. The deposit for the one-off project that's on the way, that's part of the minimum viable funnel process. And if you do it right, I go through the entire process in the client getting blueprint. I teach you here's what all the steps need to be. Those calls that need to be booked, I teach how to do those calls. There are other people that charge $10,000 for coaching on this, which largely is you going through their training. But that maybe I should just take BTMS Insiders off the market and charge you $10,000 for access. But right now, I don't. But I teach this minimum viable funnel system. And when you follow it, you get calls with your prospective customers and your prospective clients, and you have conversations with them about the problem that they want to pay to have solved, and you offer the solution and they give you money. Okay, so you've defined your offer, you defined your conversion system, this minimum viable funnel, right? Then you define your traffic strategy, which that sounds really complex and sophisticated and so on, but I only called it a traffic strategy because as we go deeper into the client getting blueprint, there's going to be more stuff that's involved with buying traffic, etc. But right now, traffic strategy early on as a copywriter, what I used was manual prospecting. Human-to-human conversations, one human being to another. Sometimes I met them in person, sometimes I connected with them online, sometimes it was a referral, sometimes whatever. The minimum viable funnel catches all of that, all that traffic that usually comes from manual prospecting, and it directs them into this call and conversation process, at which point you make an offer and you close the deal. So we define the offer, we define the conversion system, we define the traffic strategy, right? And then you have to do the work. And that's most often the hard part. And that's why these productivity challenges are so popular among the people who actually participate in the BTMS Insiders Facebook group, because so much of success, I've given you a simple blueprint here, right? I've given you a simple blueprint. You can get a more in-depth description of the blueprint in the client getting blueprint. But so much of your success is going to come down to doing the work, just doing the freaking work. And if you don't do the work, if you don't implement, if you don't do the homework that I give you in the client getting blueprint, you're not going to get results like Jared, where it's done ending the week with 3 calls booked and a deposit for a one-off project on the way, right? It works because you work it. And that's how the client getting blueprint is built. That's how life is built. So getting clients, like it's easy to get clients if you define a clear offer that is a solution to the problem that the target market has. You have a conversion system in place to actually get them to, connect with you and give you money. And you do the work required to get that in front of people. You define the traffic strategy, right? Offer conversion system traffic strategy. And then you do the work, you're going to get clients. I want you to understand it doesn't have to be hard. You don't have to make it hard. There's all sorts of emotional baggage around asking people to give you money, etc. And some of that you're going to have to work through. Usually you're only going to work through that by doing it a few times, by putting in a bunch of reps, by getting rejected sometimes, and by succeeding and experiencing what it's like to go through both. But so much of it is going to come down to doing that work of setting up those three things that I've talked about. And if you are ready to do the work, I would strongly encourage you to check out the Client Getting Blueprint. The link is in the description. There is a 30-day Launch Your Client Business Challenge, which basically it's emailed assignments every single day that walk you through the 10 hours of training or so in Milestone 1 that's all about launching your client business. And it will go through all the different steps that Jared went through. And in the end, you are approaching clients and you're getting clients. And that's what it's designed to do within 30 days. And if you follow the steps, and if you're actually aiming like a valuable service at a target market who has that problem that you're able to solve, then you're going to get results. It just comes down to doing the work. So I'm Roy Furr. This is Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. I hope that this has helped increase your marketing genius as I aim to do in every episode. Just a little bit every day makes a big difference through time. And I will catch you soon in the next episode. See you soon. Bye. Thank you once again for tuning in to this daily episode of Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. Remember, check out the links with this episode for even more value. Now make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and engage in every way you can to keep this show going and growing and delivering daily value to you. I'll catch you soon for your next big breakthrough.